Good afternoon. Welcome to the Luscious Living Podcast. And of course, now we're doing YouTube videos. I'm thrilled to have you here. Today, we're talking all about anxiety as a menopausal woman. And what I'd love to share, if you are new here, is that this is a channel, this is content that is here to add value to you. This is not medical advice. My goal is to help guide you in the right direction because I know what it's like to suffer in our body and be confused about nutrition. And that is exactly why I chose the career that I did, because it is really from my own need to really help figure out what my body needed, why I was having the symptoms that I was, and you are in the right place. So welcome and thank you for being here. What we're going to cover, as I mentioned, is really going into navigating anxiety. These symptoms come up for a lot of perimenopausal women, but also menopausal. And as someone who also deals with anxiety and knows what I need to do and where I go wrong, I'm really excited to share this with you because I know the awful feeling that anxiety can bring. You will have heart palpitations and it just, you don't think as clearly as you can and the quality of life starts to go down. And what I see commonly with women in menopause experiencing anxiety is there is a lack of iron that we want to address. And so iron deficiency will, over time, because here's also something, is we as women were never taught to replenish our body with iron after a menstrual cycle. And so most of us, I will say. And so all throughout your life, especially if you start to have heavy periods, which a lot of women in perimenopause do, but maybe you also had childbirth that you lost a lot of blood. And that's why a lot of women end up having postpartum hair loss or just don't feel very good and have anxiety because they've lost a lot of blood, lost a lot of iron. And iron deficiency can come with symptoms of fatigue, low mood, anxiety, restlessness, palpitations, headaches, almost like some ants crawling up your arm feeling on your arms and hands, as well as, again, anxiety, okay? And you might notice that your hair quality is not the same, etc. Let's focus first on iron. There's so many other things we can talk about. We're going to talk about iron and how to get foods from it. What are some other solutions for anxiety support? Again, I am a person on the YouTube that does not know who you are. And so please make sure that this advice is tailored to you specifically and meets your needs, okay? So iron. Iron-rich foods are going to come from beef liver. And I know, beef liver, maybe you've had it before. It does not smell good, in my opinion. It doesn't taste good. I actually always use myself and recommend beef liver capsules from a grass-fed, grass-finished organic farm. I know if you're in the US, there's a good company that sells it. If you are local in Alberta, send me a message or drop a note in the comments below. There is a wonderful brand that I use that has beef liver capsules and beef organ meats. And everyone that ends up using this comes back to me saying, oh my gosh, I feel like myself. I have more energy. My hair is starting to feel better. I have less anxiety, okay? So beef liver. Beef in general has iron. Lentils, spinach, nettle tea. If you are a tea drinker, please make sure you add nettles to your tea. I use nettles after every single period, especially parsley. And you want to make sure when you're having a iron-rich food that you pair it with vitamin C. So that could look like a beef taco salad with bell peppers. You have the vitamin C in the bell peppers and ideally maybe like a lemon juice kind of sauce. And you have your beef. This could look like a coconut lentil soup with lime on the top, okay? So this can look like a lot of different things. You want to get iron through these foods. I don't love iron supplements that you can get from your doctor. They can help, though they do hurt the stomach, and I do not believe they are good for long-term use, and a lot of people are not told that. So I like to use natural approaches when necessary, but again, you might find it necessary to use an iron supplement, which is great as well, if that is what's going to work best for you. Now, There are also substances that can inhibit iron absorption. Those are coffee, tea, and wine. They contain tannins, tannic acid, that can actually interfere with the absorption because they bind to the iron and carry out of the body. So the best thing is to ideally not have coffee right before or with a meal that you just had that is high in iron if you're really trying to increase your iron levels, okay? Then we also have phytates and fibers from certain legumes, such as, let's say, chickpeas, that if you buy them from the can, you will probably be bloated, but also they contain phytic acid that inhibits the absorption of iron. So you want to buy your beans dried, soak them, cook them, and then eat them. And I know this seems like an extra step, but it's really, really easy, I promise, okay? You just have to do it whenever you're going to do it. I like to just randomly put out either chickpeas or black beans. The bigger beans, you want to soak the lentils, you don't need to, okay? So that is also really helpful. Now, the other aspect of menopause that can lead to anxiety, this is from a Chinese medicine perspective, but it's really this like dryness. Face is dry, you have vaginal dryness, the fluid in your body is dry, and that can also impact mental health, brain fog, and you want to combat this by eating lots of juicy fruit or juicy vegetables. I'm thinking watermelon, cherries, like coconut, you have peaches, nectarines, anything that is mangoes, juicy and water rich. Okay, you want to stay hydrated, and I'll have a lot of cooling foods if you find yourself really hot and bothered, essentially. Okay, then I highly, highly recommend working with a herbalist to really understand what herbal formula will be best for you. This could be a tea, a tincture, a capsule. And why I say this is because different herbs have different energy properties. Because some, motherwort is going to be different than chamomile, which is going to be different than kava, which is different than oat straw. But the big thing is we want to focus on nervous system support. So a favorite of mine is oat straw tea. And I like to combine that with something like red raspberry, especially for menopause, it's great. Then you can also add an alfalfa tea. This is just so lovely. It's very soothing. Tulsi or holy basil is also great for this. And I want you to start to have some herbal allies that help you with your nervous system and help with anxiety. This is absolutely key. Then the other aspect of this goes beyond food and herbs, but looking at the vision 2.0 of you. I know for me in the past, this is more so navigating depression, but anxiety as well, is really being clear on that 2.0 version of you, or 16.0, 60.0. Always be evolving. Always be creating that next version of you, the vision of you, how you want your home to look like, how you dress, what skills you're learning, how you smell. When you keep moving in the direction that you know you need to go, you end up delaying procrastination. You procrastinate on procrastinating. You end up having a clear vision of who you need to be. You get outside, sometimes just being in the house all day can create anxiety as well, but you end up moving past your old self to move into your future self, the one who is eating all these iron-rich foods and these herbs, but also really making an impact, and however that means to you. That could be cleaning up garbage around your neighborhood. It could be volunteering at a school or library, or it could be sewing clothing for less fortunate people. Whatever it is, you are here for a reason. It is not by accident. It is not by accident. And so it is crucial that you think about this next phase of your life while including these beautiful foods that your body might be deficient in. And even if your blood work says that it looks normal, there's a very different normal range for how good you feel versus when you don't feel good. And iron is just one of those. But we have to make sure we have the bases covered. Okay? So thank you for this wonderful question. If you have any other questions, please email them to me, send me a message on Instagram. You can drop them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.